Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be upgrading my bandsaw. I need more resaw capacity on this thing. It's only 6 inches the way it came from the factory. So we're going to be removing this whole top and we're going to be putting a riser block in here, and that's going to give me a 12-inch resaw capacity. So we're going to take this whole top end off. We're going to put the riser block in, and then we're going to put a 3/4 inch resaw blade on this, because this accepts up to a 3/4, this particular saw. So the wider the blade, then the better resaw there is. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this off, and then we're going to try it out once we get the riser block installed. And we're going to see, I have a rough 9-inch, like 8 3/4 inch wide board, and that should be good enough right now, you know, just to give this thing a good test. A nice wide piece of cherry. I could do up to 12 inches, but I don't have any on hand, so we're going to use that 8.5 inch board. All right, so let's get started. Most important thing, make sure it's unplugged. Get that out of the way. Now, the instructions, they say to first remove the switch and let it hang. So let's loosen this up. Just make sure you put the screws in a safe place so you don't lose them. Get down. Next thing we're going to do is get the blade out of here. Next, I have to remove the blade guard on the left side, because a longer one will be installed. And now it's time to remove this whole top assembly. So what I'm actually going to do is let's put a block under here. That's going to do is support it so it doesn't tilt. Okay, it's loose. Okay, this is the bolt and nut that holds the top and the bottom portion together. So now that that's disengaged, what I'm going to do is close this. See if I can keep it out of my way. Now I'm going to rock this back and forth to break this loose. Okay, it's disengaged. Now the hard part, lifting it up. Okay, it's not as heavy as I thought. Lay this down. Okay. Now, I'm going to get the riser block, and I have to install it on these pins. Okay guys, so here is the riser block. It instructs you to put this up, which you can't really screw up because there's 2 pre-made holes to line up with these pins here. So these metal pins, you'll just sit it right on there, if it ever fits. Okay, so that just drops right in. So now I also have 2 pins on the top, and there's 2 matching adjoining holes on the top of the bandsaw assembly itself. But what I need to do is get this and put it into the slot on the bandsaw as I drop this in, because apparently later on in the instructions it says that you'll never get it in there. So let's pick that up, put it on, and drop the bolt in. And I'm going to keep a block on hand here just so that I can maneuver this, because now that's going to be higher. I'm going to need the blade guard. It's going to be up. I'm going to have to sit it on here somehow so I can actually maneuver it myself, because I don't have anybody helping me here. So let's change the camera angle so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's deadlift this sucker off the floor. Okay, now this isn't too bad, but what's going to be hard is getting this bolt into the slot. So I'm resting it on there. I'm going to put this bolt in the general area of where it needs to be, and then I'm going to feed it through here. And then I'm going to try to locate the matching holes, which I have no idea. Oh, there we go. Now it fell in and that's lined up. So this isn't too bad to do by yourself. It's just maybe a little dangerous. So let's do this now. Let's get this up here like this. This is going to have to come off. I'm just going to put it here to hold it in place. This way I have some, a free hand as I tighten up the bolt. Okay, let's lock it in place right there. So it's basically sitting on there, and now I can push that back and install the washer and the nut to secure it. If you have big hands, it might be a little difficult for you. Otherwise, not too bad. Okay. And as I snug it up, now it's not going to move anymore. I want to disengage the block to make sure that it's not giving me any pressure and pushing it, because I want it fully seated. Now, if I had an open end wrench that size, it would be much easier, but I don't. You don't want to over torque it, but you don't want to break the bolt, even though I'm sure that's seriously heavy duty bolt with a lot of tensile strength, and it's probably not going to break. Now we need to get this off and put the new extended blade guard, the new extended side blade guard, and then put the switch back on, put a new blade, and get everything up and running. So let's get all the parts here and start removing these. Now for the left extended blade guard. Brings you all the way up. Tighten the lock knob. Okay, so now I need to loosen the cap screw, and the whole assembly should fall right off, and it does. Let's place this off to the side. I'm not going to be reusing this, so if you really want to, you can go ahead and take it off now, but in the instructions, for some reason, they left it on. So I'm just going to leave it on until later. Maybe it's easy to hold on to when you install it, and then you can take it off later and put the new guard in. So let's just follow the directions here. So now, you want me to tighten that up, loosen thread screws out, but not all the way. And then loosen the lock knob, and let's see if it goes out of the bottom. Okay, so that's out. Let's see if we can get the new one in. Okay. There we go. All right, now it's sitting in there, so what I'm going to do is lock this on. Sit this on the keyway and engage the control knob. Okay, let's give it a little tug here. Tighten that up, snug it up a little bit there. And now I want to re-engage the pinion ball bearings to where they were. There we go. All right. Perfect. Okay. Now we need to lower it down and remove the guard. Good time to clean the bearings. This guard is going to go in here. This piece has to go inside here. Okay. Go all the way up. Washer. Okay, now I have the extended blade guard installed. I'm going to reinstall the power switch. Get this in here. Oh, by the way, when you buy the riser block, buy yourself a 105-inch good bandsaw blade, because the I believe the original was either 93-inch or 95-inch. And once you put in the riser block, that's it. Those aren't going to fit anymore. You need 105 inches on this particular model. Other models, it's probably the same. Could be the same, could be different. You have to just check with the manufacturer on the specs. Bearings always have to be adjusted when you're changing bandsaw blades, because the different widths, you're going to have the rear bearing a little further back. Okay, now for the bottom, I want to get these bearings closer, so I'm going to adjust these to get them closer, where the blade will just touch if it goes off to the side. And I'm doing a little test here to see if it's on track, and it's tracking good on the wheel, not hitting any bearings. The tension is good. So now I'm going to close the covers. I'll fire up the dust collection. Just going to do a test run and see before we make any cuts. So I have this piece of cherry. It's just about 8 1/4 inches. And I want to resaw it, and what I'm going to do is basically, this is a side that I jointed flat face and jointed an edge here. So I'm going to be running this. I'm going to be running it this way and cutting off to the line. I'm probably going to do like maybe some 1/2 inch pieces. So just, you know, roughly, I'm just going to cut a piece off here. Now, ideally, when you're resawing boards, you want to make sure that you have it surfaced on all 4 sides. But right now, we're just pretty much doing a test. So we're going to go with that. Now we want to get it just above where we want to be. The blade has come to a complete stop. Now you can see we didn't get rid of the knot, but we have a nice book match panel, roughly about 1/2 inch of cherry. Now what I could do is just, on the next project that I'm going to use this for, well, my actual plan of what I am going to do here is, because I'm going to be making probably some kind of a box out of this cherry, and the knot goes all the way through. So more than likely, I'm just going to either cut off the knot, or I'm going to use an epoxy and seal it up and make it actually stable. More than likely, I will cut it off, but you can see the difference here. What I'm trying to show you is what the riser block does to the bandsaw, because the next project, I have some rough, I believe it's, I'm going to say 6/4 poplar. And some of what I want to do is I want to make, 3/4 material out of it. It's a little more than 1.5 inches, so I should be able to get, out of one board, I should be able to, cut the pieces I need and resaw them to get 3/4 inch out of the boards of what I want to do. So that's going to be coming up soon, probably in one of the next videos. So I hope you guys like the install on this. Not difficult to do at all. I did it all by myself, as you've seen. What you just need to do is make sure you get a block to put on there to support this, because it is kind of heavy, and if you're taking it off by yourself and putting it on by yourself, it gets a little awkward. So you need an extra hand there. If you don't have the extra hand, stick a piece of wood there and let it rest on it until you can get this thing tightened up. I'm very happy with this. You could do this on a number of bandsaws out there, the Deltas, the Grizzly. You could do it on the Powermatics. They all have their own riser blocks, and they all do the same thing. They give you more resaw capacity, which I think is absolutely, if you want to be a better woodworker and take your woodwork to the next level, this is the way to go. You definitely want to start resawing your own wood, get more out of your material, and make book matched panels and things like that, because that's what I'm going to do in the future also. Certain kind of cabinet doors and things like that, or even tabletops, maybe a guitar top. I'd like to do book matched panels. So that's gonna be really cool. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you get something out of it. And if you're doing it, I hope it helps you, with the, aside from using your instruction manual that comes with the riser block kit, I hope this does help to make it a little bit easier. You get a visual on it. I know videos always, give me a visual that help me along. I've watched videos on this. Mine was a little bit different than some of the ones I've seen, especially from Grizzly's own website. But Pretty easy install. Instructions are easy to follow. Hope you guys get something out of it, and subscribe and like the video, and I will see you next time.